Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Witco with Ray. And of course, I am up in Skagit County with Heather Pleasant, the granddaughter of Mr. Weston Haber. You would like to call him Grandpa Bill?
Yep, Grandpa Bill.
Because that is who he is.
Yeah.
And your husband's coming in right now, so I'll wait. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Witco with Ray. I am up in Skagit County. Cedar Woolley, but not really. We're past that.
We're between Bellingham and Mount Vernon.
Yeah, and every time I see that giant-ass mountain that you live at the bottom of, I think, like, that's where Heather and Ken live, at the bottom of that mountain.
It's called Lyman Hill.
The thing that killed me about, like, learning about Witco is that it was based out of Mount Vernon, which is not too far away from here.
No.
Like, your grandfather lived here, and this is where it all started. And normally when people think about Witco, they think about carvings, wood. But today we're going to talk about art that's made with a different material, and that would be clay.
Yes.
Witco mugs.
Yes.
And we have several of these here. And I will be honest with you, if you want to talk about, like everyone has their grails, like the mugs that they want. Like right off the bat, this is my grail. I mean, I want this mug. I'm never going to steal one from you, but I'm not saying I haven't thought about it, but like that. But you have several mugs that you have made over the years. And
will be released.
And will be released too. So, but let's start at the beginning. What would be the first? Well, first of all, what made you decide to start making mugs? These aren't made out of wood.
No, well...
Although this looks like it's made out of wood.
It does.
But that's a different story.
A lot of the people that have made mugs for us, that's one of the things we initially talked to them about is we really want it to have that Witco wood grain and look like it's a wood product.
Yeah.
But mugs have always been a part of tiki culture, and Ken initially, I believe, designed the Big Joe mug first of all in 2008.
Is this the first one?
Yes. And the reason that he and I wanted to start with the Big Joe was because Big Joe was the first tiki that my grandfather ever carved in 1958. It's what put Witco on the map for...
58.
Yes, 1958. It was the first tiki that my grandfather carved. And so we thought it would be appropriate that it was the first tiki that we did as a mug.
And this is...
This is a...
Who made this?
Witco Decor
Monk Tiki.
Mug by Monk Tiki. Miles sculpted this for Ken. Ken carved the prototype, mailed it to Miles, and Miles,
oh, really?
Miles used that as his example.
Right there, right?
Yep.
So what did Ken sent this to him?
He's
like, make that a mug.
Yes, and that's actually the perfect way to do it. We didn't have to do an example on the computer.
He did a good job, but it's not as big as the original.
No, and he modified it in the way that he knows how to make it
No,
to
just
hold
kidding.
the
I mean,
right.
that would be a pretty big ass.
Yes, so it has to hold the appropriate amount of
let
liquid
me see
and.
something. So Ken literally sent this.
Yes, he did. Yeah. And so Miles made his version of that. And he did a great job on the grain.
I can smell the cedar.
Yeah. It's great.
I've said this before and I've said it again. Out of all the tikis ever, the Witco Big Joe is my favorite tiki.
Yeah.
And I have a 4-footer that Ken made me that's in my bedroom.
Yeah.
That I sleep with every night, literally. And I love it. I love the 1, 2, 3. And I love this mug. And I'm serious. Like this is one of my favorite tiki mugs. Mm-hmm. But there was only so many of these made, right?
Right. So this, I believe there were 75 of this version made.
75?
Yeah, this one. And it has a custom tag with a picture of Grandpa and Ken inside with some Witco art on it. it's glazed on the interior with a blue glaze, and then it says Big Joe up the back.
Yeah.
There's 75 of those in existence, and then there was a second version made. There were only 25 of these created. This has a similar tag on the interior, a green glaze, and then Big Joe's highlighted in the green as well on the back, and there's only 25 of those, and those came with the carving you just showed.
So
as
there's
a combination set.
So there is literally 100 of these mugs.
Yes.
Between the two of them.
75 of the blue, no carving, 25 of the green, accompanied by a carving.
You buy the mug, you get the carving.
Yes. Very rare. The green one's very rare.
How cool is that?
Really, really cool. And Grandpa was so proud of these, as we are. He had them displayed in his house in Mount Vernon.
Did he really?
As well, yes.
But more importantly, what did your grandmother think of them, though?
They both loved them.
Okay, cool. Because that's what matters.
Yeah. Grandma, yeah. They both loved them. They were super proud. And, always of whatever Ken and I did to carry on the tradition.
Did when your grandfather was still around, was that the plan that you guys were going to continue the Wiccan tradition?
Yes. Yeah. I think we were married in the 90s, and shortly after that, Grandpa started teaching Ken how to carve, and it was always just assumed that we'd carry on the family legacy as all the other sons went into their own fields, and they didn't continue the carving business. And Ken was really the first one that showed interest in continuing. So
yeah. Well, I'd say you're doing your grandfather proud.
We are. We strive to every day.
So what was the next mug that was made?
God of Fortune.
The God of Fortune.
Yeah.
So there's two of them here.
Yeah, and that's also by Miles. Ken did the same thing. He carved a God of Fortune, sent it down to Miles.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Same thing.
And Miles has it. He and his wife Annie, they both have the Big Joe and the God of Fortune in their home. It was a gift to them and an example to use for
so
the
same
sculpt.
idea.
Yes.
Was it the idea like you get the mug and you get the carving?
On one of them. The one you have, that was 75 of those issued. It's got, if you tilt it, it's a red glaze.
Yeah.
And then on the back, it says God of Fortune, or it says Fortune on yours. If
It
you
says
put
Fortune.
That yeah, but it's not highlighted in the glaze, and we sold 75 of those. And then on this one, it's a bright orange glaze with an Fortune highlighted in orange, and there were 25 of these made, and they came with a carving that Ken did to accompany that. And so this is a much rarer version.
So that is the rare one.
Yes, with the orange highlight.
And I'll tell you what I mean. If I wasn't holding this, I would think it'd be like a wood carving.
Yes, that he did.
I love that you get the
Yes.
the
Miles
grain.
got the texture, he got the look, everything about it screams Witco.
So the interesting thing about these two different mugs is these were made like several years ago, right?
Yes, 2008, 2011, 2008, 2011.
Time has passed. We're talking almost
so-
like, what are we talking like?
Well, 10 years for that one.
Time flies when you're tiki.
It really does.
So finally, you came around to making another mug.
Yes.
The Witch Doctor, right?
Yes, and I think that's 2019.
There's two glazes.
There is.
This is the blue, but you have the red.
Red. Everything's the same on the front. Witch Doctor highlighted on the back. We released 250 of these.
Of the red one?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the blue came later. That came with a print. And a pin. And that was released later in the year. But yes, these are great. They're Monk Tiki imports. Miles and Annie helped us with these as well. Mm-hmm. And even though they're the import version, they're super heavy, feel great in your hand. They have the Witco wood grain. We were thrilled with them. This is actually Ken's version of my grandpa's witch doctor, and we sent pictures of the carving this time. We didn't send an actual piece, but they did a great job in giving us exactly what we wanted with the little loincloth in the front and the back. And people love this mug. I love it. It's heavy duty. It feels super good quality. I'm super proud of it.
Yeah, you had the mug release party down at the Devil's Reef.
We did, which was great.
I got number 2.
You did.
I have number 2.
You stormed the gates.
And I will never get rid of that ever. And it felt great to buy a piece of the Witco legacy.
Yeah. I think I'm actually really proud of these. I didn't know what to expect because it is an import mug, but we were thrilled with the results. And I think our customers were too.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some mugs that are coming down the pike.
Okay.
That you can't get yet, but but they will be here soon.
Yeah. Let's talk about this one first.
Let's talk about that one.
Okay. This is also...
That's not a mug. That's a tiki bar.
It's a bowl. It holds, I don't know how many ounces. A lot.
A lot of booze.
A lot of booze can fit in this one. So my grandfather, he created many bars over the years, home bars for people. He had an array of price ranges. The Hacienda bar being the most affordable, and it turns up most often, and the Tahiti bar being the most expensive. And we didn't sell a lot of them because they were on the high end and they were really ornately carved.
I have a question. So when your grandfather was building the bars and people were buying the bars for their homes, what years are we talking? That their peak was, where people were actually buying those? We're talking the 60s, the 70s? Or?
I would say early 60s. He created bars by the early 1960s. The peak was early 60s.
Okay.
Yeah. And this bar, there's been a lot of misinformation out there about how many were created. But the Tahiti bar, he made the least amount of.
And that's what this is?
Yes.
The Tahiti bar.
This is called the Tahiti Bar.
Can I see this? It's
got a lot of intricate carving on it. It's got that grid pattern, swirls, full tikis, 4 full tikis, shelving on the back. And it was intricate and it was expensive. It was double the price of the other bars. So they didn't sell as many. And so now it's very coveted and people consider it very rare. Not that many turn up. So we thought, what a perfect design to make into a mug to allow everyone to have one in their home, because not everyone's going to be able to get a Tahiti bar.
Maybe they can drink out of one, though.
Yes, they can. And so we approached Mung Tiki Imports about doing a mug or a bowl, and they were into it. Miles created a computer image of one because we obviously couldn't send him a Tahiti bar. And
no, that'd be weird.
Yeah, it would. And we decided to do it kind of a mid-century kidney shape. It's on legs. It has tikis on either end. All the original designs. And then on the back, it's fully stocked with all your liquor bottles, the Witco insignia. There's no other mug like this. It's a one of a kind.
Well, actually, there's another one here.
Well, there is. But there's only these two.
There's this glaze.
Yes.
So there's going to be 2 glazes? Is that right?
That's our first one.
So this is the first.
If you flip it around, it has 2 highlighted bottles in the back. Turquoise blue, and then the inside's glazed turquoise blue. And then this one is kind of a whitish orange with a glossy orangey brown on the inside. It has the Witco decor coat of arms on the back.
Yeah.
Both of them do. And yeah, we should be getting these in the next few months.
And how many have been made?
there'll be 250 of this glaze and 250 of this.
So needless to say is they are going to go by fast.
Yeah.
So
they're a big, heavy-duty mug for two.
So
A
I'd be
bowl for
saying
two.
if you want to get one of these mugs, just be hitting the Witco Decor website daily.
We'll be posting updates, and we don't like to do pre-sales, but we'll give plenty of heads up of when they'll be available.
Yeah. You have another mug that's going to be coming out.
We do, and this one's really, really close to our heart. This will be the first one that we release. This is our Polynesian Fountain. It's the very first fountain that my grandpa ever made.
And for the record, the technical name for this tiki is the Polynesian Fountain, not the Mainlander.
No, that was actually a restaurant that they ordered the product from my grandpa, and they were called the Mainlander restaurant, and then they took the design for their menus and their matchbooks and their advertisement. And so now people refer to this as the Mainlander Fountain, but it's actually called the Polynesian Fountain.
The Polynesian Fountain.
Yes.
Normally this would be part of a fountain when you'd have this.
Yes. And we decided to just go with it as a standalone tiki as it would look before he put the bowls and the fountain apparatus.
And again, it's like Big Joe being my favorite tiki. This is my second favorite.
Yeah. It's pretty iconic. And I have to say that we approached a very talented artist out of Louisiana.
Oakwash, right?
Oakwash.
New guy, right?
Relatively new. He seems like he really knows what tiki's all about. Omar is his name. Mm-hmm. And we originally approached him with a different design, a fisherman god that we really loved. We asked for that he do a mug for us that was a aged Witco design, something that looked like it'd been sitting out in the Pacific Northwest weather for a while. And he really liked some pictures we'd posted of the Polynesian Fountain that we'd found locally at the West Winds Motel.
Yes.
And so we agreed to go with that because he is an absolute expert in making things look aged.
Yeah.
And we sent him pictures of those fountains that we rescued. They had these distinct cracks and crevices and obviously the Witco wood grain, and he really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So this will be the first one that we release. It's this bleached out, weathered looking Polynesian fishing god. We'll release 100 of these, I believe. And then this darker version, Ken will do his usual 25 with the
carving, and there's actually
the carving.
And actually the carving is right behind me. Let me grab that.
Yeah. So we'll release 25 of those, and it'll come with a carving similar to this. I'm not sure exactly. This is a 2-foot Polynesian Witco Decor carving by Ken Pleasant.
Wow.
And we'll release 25 of these with a carving to go with them.
Smells beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Ken's doing a carving with the mug.
Yeah. And that was his idea from the get-go. He's always wanted to do that. It's something that I haven't really seen other carvers do. But Ken loves to do something a little extra at the end. So
yeah,
it's going to be great.
I heard that with every mug and carving that he makes, he gives you a can of Coors Light too.
You heard wrong, and I'm not a big fan.
What I love about Witco, and is this the fact, well, first of all, being from Seattle, being from the Pacific Northwest, when they say about being local, this is it. And I mean what I say, these are my favorite tiki carvings. And these are carvings that were made decades ago, before I was even born. And I love the fact that you're continuing your grandfather's legacy. And even with the carvings and in mugs.
Yeah, I do too. I'm very proud of it. We're both really proud of it. And I know that my grandpa, while he was alive, was super proud of it. And I don't know. It's definitely close to our heart. Mm-hmm. It means all it means a lot.
Yeah.
And we're thrilled to be doing what we're passionate about.
Links, if someone wants to buy anything or even buy any of the carvings or anything, where should they go?
WitcoDecor.com.
WitcoDecor.com.
Yes, and we have pages of masks and tikis and all sorts of things.
Yeah, and so if you're interested in buying anything that you guys make, WitcoDecor.com.
Yes.
Take another drink. You don't get nervous when you do these, though, right?
No.
Why? Why don't you get nervous?
Because there's no one looking at me.
There's going to be
Yeah,
at least
but
30
they're
viewers
not
watching
here.
this.
They're not sitting here, so it's different when you get up in front of. You're standing there and you have something that
Would it be better if you were sitting down?
probably, or it's just different because it's my presentation. This is yours. I don't take responsibility for it.
You don't take responsibility for this, even though it's your. This whole series is based.
Yeah.
You're the evidence.
I don't
of it.
know. This is just my life, and it's just random, kind of. That's different.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Anyway.
The secret is, though, the more you do it,
Yeah.
the easier it becomes.
True.
And that's, but getting up in front of a crowd and talking in front of a bunch of people by yourself is tough.
Yeah. I don't think it's tough until I'm right there doing it. I always think, oh, I've got this. I'm fine. It's not a big deal. And then 5 minutes before, that's when I start to freak out.
They say some of the best, like say for like stand up.
Yeah.
They're saying like one of the best things to do, like say for just starting out, is to bomb, like to go up and bomb hard.
Yeah.
Because once you do that,
It's over. You've finished that, and
you're like,
there's
okay,
nothing you can do except get better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like once you bomb, then it's like, okay, when I bomb, this is how it went.
Yeah.
And then it's not so bad. Although I think it'd be funny if you were up there doing your presentation and people were doing it like little rascals style, where people were throwing tomatoes at you.
Oh.
or like cabbage. You're like, what was?
I'll bring that stuff.
Maybe me.
I don't think it'd be funny. I'm gonna bring that shit down to one of your shows.
I think I would love it. I would fucking love it if I was.
If I smacked you on your bald head with a tomato.
If I was doing my show, and I even know you were there,
And I brought a
and all of a
rotten
sudden, like I'm
vegetable.
like, so anyway, how did you get into tiki? And all of a sudden, a tomato snaps me in the face.
No.
I think I'd start laughing because I'd be like, oh shit, that's Ken.
I mean,
And
when you're playing up on stage, Cramps music, and I jam you with a rotten tomato on the forehead.
Because I know who would do it.
Okay,
I would
get
know
ready
who I
for
would
it.
know who did it to me, and I know why you did it. I just break down laughing.
Okay, because I have a lot of rotten tomatoes out in my garden.
I'm sure you do. All right, all the way from Skagit County, we got Ken Pleasant. Let's give everyone a hand, yeah!
You need help.
So you're gonna sing us some Johnny Cash or some Hank Sr.?
Yeah. That'd be no.
I hear a train a-coming, it's going around the bend. I sound just like Johnny
You
Cash.
sound exactly like Johnny
Yeah,
Cash.
you do.
I hear that train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. There you go.
I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. When I hear that whistle blowing, I know it's
Yeah, that. Yeah.
I tried so hard for you. When it comes to Hank,
What is that? Oh, that was Hank Sr.
Everything sounds like
I'm so lonesome I could cry.